Last time on Hard Enduro, it was another tough Red Bull ROMANIACS with top riders like Alfredo Gomez, Johnny Walker, and Wade Young all exiting due to injury. But riding consistent and technical as always, Graham Jarvis ground out his remarkable 6 ROMANIACS title with Mario Roman and Paul BOLTON rounding out the podium. For the 4th stop, we are back in Poland for the power-packed Red Bull 111 Megawatt. At the midway point of the season, Jarvis leads in the world rankings with Paul BOLTON, Alfredo Gomez, and the rest fighting for 2nd and 3rd. But no lead is safe in the mines.
I own the pie for the slicing. Ignite, keep it quite tight and right for the pricing. Icing on my cake. Turn my puddle to a lake for the sake of my fate. In the banks I'm about to break.
The electricity is in the air as we dive back into one of Europe's largest coal mines. The brainchild of Enduro legend Taddy Blazusiak, the 4th edition of the Red Bull 111 Megawatt is turning up the cranks on this hybrid race, making it longer, tougher, and with even steeper elevation in the climbs. The lineup is, of course, top-notch, including Walker, Young, Roman, BOLTON, Jarvis, and Gomez, all healthy and ready to battle for the trophy. And with 500 riders blasting off at the mass start, it will be mayhem from beginning to end. So the all-stars of Hard Enduro, 3 laps around a coal mine, fastest man to the finish wins it. Hold on tight because the dirt is about to fly. The skies are blue and the atmosphere buzzing as Hard Enduro heads pack into the dirt stadium for day 1 qualifiers. Over 900 riders gear up, of which 500 top qualifiers will earn their spot in tomorrow's main event.
Hey guys, welcome to Poland, welcome to my race, Red Bull 111 Megawatt. The guys you see behind me, they're all lining up for the qualifying. They're gonna do 2 laps over the motocross track and the endurocross track, and the fastest 500 qualify for the main. It's gonna be epic.
So it's 2 riders at a time. Whoever gets out in front, there might be a bit of dust or whatever behind, so, you know, just makes it a bit of a race, so it makes it interesting.
I set off with Mario because I won last year, he was 2nd, and I'm going to go first, he'll follow me and just try and put a good time in.
First up, the motocross section where speed is the name of the game. Defending his title, Walker is the first onto the track, full tilt around the turns, getting an early taste of the Megawatt sand. 2 by 2, the top pros get their bikes dirty. With speed being the top priority, the riders keep their weight on the back wheel and the front wheel light in order to adjust to the soft, bumpy sections. South Africa's Wade Young has only been on his bike a few weeks since sustaining a pinched vertebrae at Red Bull ROMANIACS, but he looks ready to compete. The amateurs are also doing their best to tame these tracks and earn a coveted qualifying spot. Into the finish of the motocross section, Young takes the best time with Chile's Benjamin Herrera and Johnny Walker a few seconds behind. After a quick rest, the enduro cross section is next with plenty of hurdles to keep the riders busy. Filled with sand mounds, tires, and logs, the pros are making quick work of the obstacle course. Even one of the longest rock gardens in Hard Enduro can do little to stop Young and number 57, Billy Bolt. A regular on the Super Enduro podiums, Walker is putting down a blistering time. It's a different story for the amateurs who struggle to keep their bodies on their bikes. But this is Hard Enduro, and giving up is never an option. In the end, Walker finishes with the fastest time, followed by Young and Herrera.
Qualifying's over, done 2 rounds. Best round count, so I'm definitely on the front row. Now to focus on to tomorrow.
The top riders are done, but hundreds of amateurs are still on course. Let's catch up with some of the pros to see what Red Bull 111 Megawatt is all about.
Let's go.
Begins with a kick and cut.
Z-A-T-T-L-Y.
K-L-I-T-S-O-W.
Kleszkow.
Guys, we're in Kleszów. We're in Poland for 111 Megawatt. Come on.
The mine here is just like crazy big. I can't believe how far it stretches and actually how deep it goes.
First impressions, this place is like absolute madness, and then you've got these 2 giant chimneys going flat out all day, every day, and it's just pretty crazy setting for a race.
The race format here is qualifying on the Saturday. You have 2 different tracks, an enduro cross and a motocross, which you do 2 times, and then that qualifies you for the main race on the Sunday, where 500 riders go through.
The start is huge. We start with a switch-off engine. We have to switch on the bike and put the throttle maximum.
It's not the best feeling when you're down there. You know, you sat there, there's 70 riders all going for this one tight corner in a row, so it's like the biggest mass start that we have in enduro.
This race is unique. There's basically a motocross, hills, and enduro cross. It's a 3-lap race. First lap is actually difficult to get a line driven into the track, and so to be like 5th or 6th is probably the best place. Then the second lap comes around, the track's nice and worn and good lines and that, but then 3rd lap is just absolutely chaos.
Well, I'd say the most unique thing is the actual terrain. There's so much sand and soft going.
So it's going to be deep sand, but a lot of harder sections as well.
You know, you'll go into one bit where there's like black sand that's really hard, and then you'll go into another bit where it's super soft, you know, and the bike just stops dead.
With this sole, it's very easy to make mistakes. Sometimes the hard hills are really soft, and you need to try many times to make the line.
I'm feeling good, you know, the last few days when I've been riding, I felt good, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Day 2, it's race day. 500 riders take their positions in the mine while thousands of people line the pit to witness one of the biggest mass starts in motorsports. Their mission? Finish 3 laps around the mine as fast as possible. Welcome to the main event.
Yeah, we've just come down now to the start of the main event of the Red Bull 111 Megawatt. So in this row we have 70 riders all going into that one first corner. My approach is to, you know, try and take a lead on the first lap and make a break, and if I can't do that, then I'll follow the other riders and then try and make a break on the 2nd or 3rd lap.
Just 10 minutes to the start, so ready to race. Hope I can have a good day without big mistakes, and let's make it to the podium, and why not to the top spot.
Well, it's pretty crazy. So many people on the front row. It's going to be cool. Well, just give it the best. You've got to go flat out, whatever.
Hearts pounding, trigger fingers itching, the tension is soaring. The first wave is off. Number 13, Paul Bolton, is quick off the line and leads the cavalry into the charge. But Bolton goes too wide, allowing his countryman Sam Winterburn to sneak in on the inside and take the whole shot with Walker close behind. Blasting over the first hill climb, the 2-time defending champ leads the pack into the motocross section. Already the bikes are fender to fender, and with 70 more riders released every minute and a half, it's all-out chaos. In the motocross section, full throttle is the only way to go, and Walker looks more than confident. Number 89, Alfredo Gomez, and number 8, Benjamin Herrera, are not far off, but it's hard charger Wade Young who is making moves. First he passes Manuel Lettenbigler, and then Alfredo Gomez is the next victim. With the riders jostling for position, the first lap is all about figuring out this course. Gomez gets overtaken by fellow KTM rider Manuel Lettenbichler as they make their way out of the motocross section. On a massive hill climb, Walker struggles in the sand and must retreat for another go. Young tries his best but loses his grip on the bike and sends it flying. Without hesitation, Manny tears up past a crawling Young and takes the lead. Walker tries again but fares no better, hoping that the other rider's tracks will give him more grip on the next go. Billy Bolt gets over, but Mario Roman is left sprawling and blocks the KTM teammates' next attempt. Just another day at the mine. They eventually escape with Manuel Lettenbichler in the lead. Now he's the one being hunted. Bolt's second place is short-lived as Young gets by. At the next sandy uphill, one of the biggest on the course, Manuel Lettenbichler once again fights his way over while Young is forced to back down. As for Walker, he finds similar trouble and cannot keep his momentum. His quest for the hat trick is looking tougher than expected. The South African muscles his way up. And finally, Walker does as well. Into the first refuel station, the young German has an early lead over the field.
Hey guys, Taddy Blazusiak with an update here. A bunch of riders got together the last hill. The hill is pretty steep and difficult. Manny was the only one to get it on the first try. Everyone else had to go a few times, and he built a 20-second lead. So Manny in first, Wade Young in second, and Johnny Walker very close in third.
One lap down, 2 to go. Right, let's catch up with Taddy Blazusiak and all his Polish fans.
All right, we made it to the paddock. There's a lot going on here. It's like all the motorcycle stores and food, drinks, everything, and all the factory teams. So I think it's awesome. And the fans. Check them out. This is the riders area. It ends around here, and then all the other shops start, and the fans can, you know, check the place out, see the bikes, see the riders. Megawatt! Well, you see, the fans at the Red Bull and Megawatt are awesome, right? Like, this place is just unreal. It's amazing to see all the fans being so excited. I mean, for me, it's pretty special, so yeah, pretty amazing. All right, guys, we made it to the VIP tent. Let's go and check it out. It's actually super cool. All right, guys, this is the VIP room. We got video games, we got food, we got beers, we got everything you need. And like the best part of it is the deck. It's amazing. All right, guys, this is Red Bull and Megawatt at its best. Like, definitely the best seat in the house. You can see all the action. And yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty amazing, to be honest. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the little tour I gave you, and it's time to get back to racing.
At the start of lap 2, Manuel Lettenbichler leads the pack back into the motocross section.
Watch out!
The battle for second is heating up as Walker catches Young and tries to overtake on the straightaways. Back and forth they go, neither giving an inch. But Young takes a wrong line. That mistake gives Walker a straight shot over the small mounds. Next up in his sights is Lettenbichler. With some truly beautiful riding, Walker is back in first. Not to be outdone, Young pins it and storms past Manny for second. He's hot on the heels of Walker now.
It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy.
With other riders looking for inspiration, the top guys are finding their grooves on the uphills. But Roman is lurking on the outside, still waiting to strike. 500 riders, many of them amateurs, are spread over the course, filling up tracks and creating some massive bike jams. While Walker and Young figure out the best line of attack, Lettenbichler sees an opening and snakes through a batch of back markers. But running out of speed, he pulls up a bit short. Young takes the better line and Walker follows suit. Further on, Manny gets stuck once again. And can only watch as Gomez and Jarvis pass him by. In the deep sand, the battle for third is gaining traction as Gomez and Jarvis are up there side by side. They're trapped and exhausted in the physically punishing terrain, allowing Roman to leapfrog into third. Back out front, Young arrives first into the service station, but only a second in front of Walker. But there's trouble with his bike.
You have no water.
Yeah, but it's okay.
It's okay.
With no water to cool his engine, Young takes a big gamble and opts to push it. Walker is in and out, ready for the final lap. Roman gets topped up and is a minute behind with Jarvis lurking. After lap 2, it's still anyone's race. Into the last lap, Walker is closing in on Young. But with the smoke streaming from Young's bike, it signals a cruel twist in his tidal hose. Walker speeds ahead and doesn't look back, leaving Young desperate for a fix. Even pouring water from his water pack into the radiator. With the South African out, it looks like Walker just got lucky.
So it was just loose.
And the water, you will lose the water.
Yeah, but I don't crash on there. I just fall over in the sand. I was bleeding in front of Johnny. It would have been good to go into that last lap.
As we've seen, even the smallest crashes can have a big impact. Let's check in with some of the pros on their techniques when hitting the ground is inevitable.
When you go into a race, you don't want to fall anywhere. You know, you never want to fall. You get good at it, but you never know. Sometimes the smallest falls are the worst ones.
Look, I don't plan on falling. Plan on going fast, but not falling. But yeah, it happens, you know, especially in the sand. It's quite easy to make a small mistake and fall over, but it's all part of the game, so.
You can have big yard sales and then you just get up and you're, oh, that was okay. Then you can have the smallest little crash and then you're like, my hand's killing, you know. You ain't stopping it anyway, so there's no point fighting it. But you do fight it as long as you can when you're on the bike.
You know, I've had my fair share of injuries. You know, nothing's really kept me out for a long time, but this sport's about staying on the bike, and like any sport, you want to stay fit and healthy and get to the finish.
It's all in the mind, like you control the whole thing in your mind. I think this took a lot of experience. When you are more young, you jump crazy in the bike again and you can crash again or whatever, no? But when you have more experience, you crash and you don't think about that. You just crash, jump on the bike and keep going.
You know, sometimes when you crash, the adrenaline's pumping that much, you just get back on and go. You know, you don't really think of too much about what's hurting. You know, the pain sometimes comes in after the race or even in the morning after, but during the race, you know, you normally just get to the finish on adrenaline.
You never know with off-road. We get good at it, but it just depends on what you fall on.
how you fall, where you fall, in which direction, and if there's something there that you hit, then it's not going to be good anyway, so it doesn't matter how good you are.
Into lap 3 with his main competitor gone, Walker builds on his lead. But Roman is now in second and is ready to mount a comeback. Runner-up to Walker last year, Roman is now determined to get to that top spot. Back in third, the old familiar foes Jarvis and Gomez are neck and neck, both in the hunt for their first Megawatt trophy. With the traffic only worsening, Walker picks his way up, but dismounts and calls for a little bit of help. Roman takes a similar line and must do the same. Jarvis and Gomez are together in the thick of things, smoke and dust rising all around, clawing their way up for third. Advantage, Jarvis. Knowing there is no time to waste with every checkpoint completed, Roman is pulling closer and closer.
Quick update, Johnny in the lead, like a minute lead. Wade was second, but some mechanical took him out. Mario Roman in second now, and Grant Jarvis and Alfredo Gomez in third, very close, third and fourth, like racing for positions.
To the delight of the 30,000 strong crowd, the Brit is looking ready for a three-peat. Into the final Enduro Challenge, among the giant slabs of rock, Walker starts off well, but falters. Roman has charged all the way back and is now looking to steal the win. The crowd cannot believe it. The defending champ may just lose his title, but Walker, digging deep, pushes over the last boulders and rides up to claim yet another Red Bull 111 Megawatt win. Lucky number 3 indeed. Only seconds behind, Roman claims a well-earned second place.
Me and Wade were battling, and then something happened to him on the second lap. I got into the last lap, and I had to slow down because my moves were totally gone. And yeah, just to get the win, I'm so lucky to get the win. To get to the finish,
in the rocks, I saw Johnny. I did a perfect line and was unbelievable. Almost was able to jump into his bike, but I was okay, respect, and I just wait to finish second. It's good. I cannot complain. Thanks to all the team for the amazing work and to all the people who helped me.
But there is another battle that needs to be decided as Jarvis and Gomez take on the boulders together. Using his unmatched trials skills, Jarvis grabs third place.
Well, the first lap was perfect, and then the second lap there was just bikes everywhere, you know. It was just a bit of potluck, whether you got up or not, got through, but, you know, that's how the race is. Oh, yeah, really happy to be third, you know. It's good to be on the podium. So many good riders on this type of stuff, and, you know, it's known not to be my type of thing, this sand, but, you know, really happy.
After over 2 hours and 20 minutes on the bike, the other riders crossed the finish line, able to say they conquered Red Bull 111 Megawatt. Once again standing on top, Walker gets his first win of the season, Roman gets another second place, and Jarvis stays consistent in third.
Let me flip this script. I feel privileged by all who can witness this. I am close to divine. No, the moment is mine.
In the overall world rankings, Jarvis is still the leader, Gomez pushes BOLTON down a notch, and Roman is inching even closer to a top 3 spot.
Trying to get a million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me.
Join us for stop number 5 as we head south to Sand and Sun for the most enjoyable race of the season, Red Bull Sea to Sky. Till then, I'm Troy Mannering reminding you to stay safe and keep the rubber side down.